Hey everybody, it's Kim, and we are back with another episode of Empower. Let me just address this right off the bat. Germany doesn't care about my lighting for these videos, and the sky is super gray. You can see a shadow behind me. I've been adjusting lighting for I don't know how long, trying to get it to look a little bit better in here. You wouldn't believe it, but it's not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's just dark. So now that I've addressed it, we can put it to the side and you can focus on what I'm going to say. So today I wanted to talk about something that I think is really important. And I want to talk about the backside of a mountain. And the reason that I've been thinking about this is I'm one of those people who reflects, especially towards the end of the year. I go back and I check um, my goals, the things that I had written down that I wanted to accomplish at the beginning of the year or the end of last year, and even some things that I have put in place as we went along this crazy year that we have had. Um, and I tend to reflect and see, okay, was I realistic in this goal? Because as I told you on another episode, I tend to overshoot and sometimes be unrealistic in the timing or specifics of goals that I set. So as I was thinking about it, um, I was like, man, you know, there are some things that I really did this year. There was some stuff that I accomplished. There was something that you guys will find out about, uh, hopefully, prayerfully, in the next month, that I had no idea that I was gonna actually do. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking how often what we think about is the front side of the mountain. We think about there's a huge thing that I'm coming up against. There's something that is ahead of me. There's an obstacle, there's a situation, there's an opportunity that I have to um, yield to because it's in my way and I can't get around it. It's like an iceberg, except it's above water. Um, and we get so used to focusing on that next mountain, that next hurdle, that next thing that is standing in the way of whatever our accomplishment, our goal, our mission is, that we tend to forget sometimes, hey, that mountain has a backside. And what I mean by that is, how often do you look back and say, but I climbed that mountain, but I didn't lose that time. I did that with the help of whomever, if it was a business partner or um, a spouse, a sibling, God. I did that. How often do we allow ourselves to reflect on the fact that, hey, I'm on the other side of this mountain back here. The reason I can face a new one is because I'm on the backside of that one. I I climbed it. It might have taken a while and it was difficult and it was whatever else, but I'm over that hump. I've come across that bridge. I have made it. I'm still alive. I'm better for it because I learned something in the process. I learned how to do something that I hadn't done. I learned about me that I was resilient enough to make it. We have to begin to think and look back a little bit, not to bemoan our situation or how it happened, but how often do you sit back and look and say, hey, I did that? So before we get into the planning of next year and too much evaluating and stacking up, and all, because all of that is necessary, because I've been doing that as well. But let's take a moment to sit back and reflect. Child, I did some things in 2020. Yes, it was difficult. Yes, we've been stuck in the house. Yes, that's been a problem. Yes, we ready for it to be over. But I'm not on that whole give me, I want to take 2020 back. Give me, I got my receipt. Give it. No, because 2020 brought some good stuff to me. I brought some good stuff to it. So I just want to encourage you to not look at my earring. I just want to encourage you to not get to the point where you forget that you did some stuff, that you forget that not only is the front of the mountain important, the back of it is important. Because what that does is it lets you know when this next one is coming, you might be a little bit steeper, you might be a little taller, it may take a little more time, it may be made of slippery rock, there may be more forest on this, whatever. But what I need this mountain to know is that I've come across some mountains that are now behind me. And so what I know is that I am beginning to be an experienced climber. There's some things that I now know that I can approach this mountain differently. I know that I probably should approach it as a step by step basis, as opposed to trying to conquer the whole mountain on day one. I know I need to pace myself. I know that I need to plan in some time for a lesson. I need to plan in some time for a pause, for a little self care, for a little bit of rest. I need to plan it because if we are constantly going and never taking stock of where we came from, we miss a lot along the journey. We miss a lot along these climbs up the mountain. What if there was somebody there who's like, hey, this is actually my second time climbing this one. I got a shortcut that I can show you. I have this pickaxe that you're going to need for 2 or 3 miles up. I have this whatever that's going to help you when you get to this elevation. But if we're so busy, I don't have time to talk, I don't have time, we got our blinders on. Sometimes our blinders can be inhibitors to us. Now, it's important that if it's a person that's trying to keep you from doing something and they're just a negative Nelly and they just don't want you to succeed and they love to tell you about that, that's one thing. But if we can't be so focused to the point where we miss that there could be some help, we miss that there could be an opportunity along the way to learn something without having to experience it. Not too long ago, I told y'all I'm that type of person. I don't have to go through it. Don't want to. You've been there. You can tell me. I want to pocket that information. I'll eat the meat, spit out the bone, figure out how it applies to me. But I want your insight because if it can save me any hassle, baby, save me the hassle. So as we plan for 2021, Lord, let us see it. As we plan for Christmas, New Year's, your next birthday, your business launch, your book, whatever you're doing, before you get bogged down in how long it's going to take and how much money and how much time and how much effort, take a little bit and sit back and think about, child, you came across a mountain. Let me tell y'all something. 2020 has been a mountain of its own. You hear me? And I'm not talking about with anything specific to your personal individual life. I'm talking about all of us humans sharing this experience this year. We have overcome some things. We've overcome being stuck. And I know in the States y'all aren't as stuck as we are over here. But listen, Daphne keeps saying, I'm so tired of Germany's rules. I'm so tired of Germany's rules. I said, well, I get what you're saying, but it's to keep us safe. And we aren't the only ones with rules. She was like, but we the only ones that I'm talking about because we're the ones that are here right now. So our children have gone through some things this year. They've found out a little bit about some resilience. We've learned things that we didn't know we needed to know. Because now that we are coming to the close of this year, There's some stuff about me that I know that I didn't know before. That, okay, I actually can survive being in the house. Because I've said this on here before, I'm the social person. I like to go, I like to be out, I like to um, learn new things, I like to be outside of the house. I'm that person. Um, so this year has taught me to sit down a little bit. It has taught me to harness and hone some things within myself. Taught me I have some skills I didn't know I had. Um, so don't be so focused on what's in front of you that you forget that you've come so far. Write it down. Your accomplishments for the year. Write them down. Don't wait and listen. For next year, don't wait until December of next year to look back on the mountain of 2021. As January comes and you accomplish something, look at that accomplishment as you check it off your to-do list, whether it's real life on paper or your phone or just a mental check. Give yourself a little uh party. Be your own cheerleader. You did that. So that we can use that as fuel. We can begin to say, "Hey, there's so many more things I have coming down the pipeline, but this one I just did. I did that. That was a good job." Try and do it without critiquing yourself. Try and just give yourself credit for getting it done, not attaching oh, but it should have been sooner. Oh, but it did. The lesson part you can come across later. What I'm trying to get us to focus on is the fact that we did it. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. So often we get it done and we're like, okay, thank God that's done because that took a long time and that's making me slower on this next thing that I have to do. And then there's a domino effect. And then if I take too long doing this, then I'll be 50 years old and then I'll be looking back and then slow down, pause, give yourself some flowers. Don't even wait for nobody else to tell you you did a good job. Don't even wait for anybody else. Once you complete it, you give yourself a pep rally. Yes, girl, you did that. You did that. It's important. That'll help fuel you on your way up the next mountain. Because the other side of it, we all know another mountain's coming. We don't know what it's going to be. We have an idea. 2020 showed us we have no idea that this was going to be like this. But what it should have shown us is we're resilient, we're resourceful, we'll figure it out. We don't have a choice. Okay? So, what I want you to do at the end of this video, if you haven't started already, is start jotting down the things that you did. Look at the backside of that mountain, turn around and say, girl, we did that. We did that. That's all I have for y'all today. I just wanted to encourage you to look back and appreciate the things that you've done. Segue. One thing you can appreciate that you do is go over to Instagram and follow Empower at MPOWHER540. You can share this video. You can like, comment. You can go to YouTube and search Empower. Follow. Is it follow? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Subscribe is the word I'm looking for. And in the words of my daughter, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. And continue to follow here on Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have been more interactive this year, and I appreciate that. You did that. So once you finish watching this video, before you start jotting your stuff down, if you haven't liked and shared and followed and done all the things on all the places, do that. And then I can look and say, look, they did that. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.